when I say my mom was a woman of faith, she encouraged me, and she never, I don't know if she had a doubt in her mind. I'm sure she did, but she never let that show when she knew that that was a goal of mine. She was just like, all right, we're going to go, we're going to make it work. What was so interesting about that experience when I was applying in high school is that we had so little information about college, about financial aid. Harvard cost more than my mom ever made in her life annually. And I think, we just didn't know any better. And so it was simply blind faith that my mom said, we'll figure it out. I'll find a way to pay for it if you get in. Luckily, Harvard is very affordable if you come from a low-income family. So my family, we were low income, and Harvard gave us a full scholarship just based on need alone, not even a merit scholarship, a need-based scholarship. So first of all, I'm so grateful that despite the lack of information that we had, that I was able to, go to college for free. I think that made a big difference for me. In terms of the experience there, once again, it was a little bit of everything. Coming from sort of a public school background, I think SLPS, prepared me for a lot of things, but Harvard was a bit of a jump. And so I had a lot to learn in order to sort of take this next step in terms of my academic performance. So that's hard, I think, on a young person, especially someone like me whose identity was wrapped up in being an achiever. Like I am, if you ask me who I am, I would say I am a straight A student coming out of high school. And that was not the case when I got to college. And so I had to, I had to think about that again and think about what my values were going to be, who I was going to be. I couldn't identify as a straight A student anymore. And so that experience and that sort of putting me through the ringer with regard to my identity helped me shift gears to think outside of myself. So, all right, if my life isn't going to be about me making straight A's, it has to be about creating a difference for other people and sort of a life of service. And so I think that combined with the fact that, depending on where you came from, there were some kids at Harvard who it was easy and they were just, at summer camp, basically, because of how well they were prepared and because of the resources that their family had. So that's what got me interested in education. I was like, we have some inequities here that need to be resolved, obviously. And so I ended up majoring in African-American studies with a focus on educational inequality, with a goal to sort of right the inequities that I had seen with my career afterwards. So it changed probably the trajectory of my life, that experience. Also, Harvard is full of dope people, like, period. I think, the school does a good job of finding the best in a lot of different sort of arenas and from all over the world. So I was constantly inspired by the strengths that people had and how interesting people were. Some of my best friends today I made at Harvard, who are just dope, amazing, and they continue doing amazing things. So I constantly, am inspired and surprised and excited by things that my classmates are doing. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg was one of my classmates, and we see all that he's accomplished, right? And even, myself, I'm out here, I'm doing the best I can with the resources I have to offer the world, but I feel like I'm part of that community as well. And folks are often congratulating me for whatever I might be doing that inspires them. So definitely put me in a community, an inspiring community. I think anyone who has the chance to go. And, anyone who's thinking about applying, just apply. You never know. Somebody has to get in and it might be you. Yeah.
Wow. You are truly amazing. Very inspiring. Man, I wish more young Black women could know what Paris was, you know what I'm saying? Because you changed their lives, you know what I'm saying? So that's real cool because I can relate. When I was in high school, man, I thought college was impossible, you know what I'm saying? So I guess I might have been like a late bloomer. I was able to take advantage of some scholarships and stuff and grants later on when I got in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? I got a chance to study abroad, but I wish I would have knew those things when I was in high school. But like you said, you had a strong, powerful mom that motivated you and was able to help you facilitate your goals and dreams. So that's a true blessing, for real.
Thank you. Yeah, hopefully some women watching will take our advice here.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure. I'm sure they will. I'm gonna show my nieces and nephews this too. Let me see. Okay. Now, tell us about some of your travels. You had the opportunity to travel to a few countries around the world.
Yeah, I the travel bug hit me early. I mean, my name is Paris, right? So you would have thought I studied French, but I actually took Spanish. I was trying to be practical. Um,
Okay.
but still, in eighth grade, the French class decided they were going to Paris, and I was so excited, and I was like, I want to go. And I asked the teacher, I was like, I'm not in your class, but can I go? And she said, if you could come up with the money, you can go. So back to that mother of mine, right? Now I already explained we are low income. We don't have thousands of dollars to pay for some trip, but my mom, saw the excitement that I had. And so she put together a fundraiser. She got friends of hers to donate. My whole family was going around selling raffle tickets for our fundraiser, all, at church and at, sporting events and things like that. And she came up with the money. And that was my first international trip. So I went to Paris, didn't know a lick of French, didn't know what was going on. But I got the chance to go. And since then, I mean, I've been some of everywhere. I think some of the most impactful, in college, I studied abroad in South Africa, which was really sort of life-changing. That was my first visit to the continent. And I got to do research. I researched, school desegregation after apartheid while I was there. And I went back to the continent. I went to Ghana later on in college with a friend who was going back to visit her family, and asked if anybody wanted to go. And I'm always the person to raise my hand and say yes. After college, I taught SAT prep classes in South Korea. So that was my one foray into Asia. I spent the summer there teaching students how to excel on the SAT, which is so crazy, but I'm glad. But I'm glad I got to go to South Korea. And since then, I've found good friends who like to travel, and I usually say yes if they make an offer. So I've been back to Paris as an adult. I've been back to South Africa. Traveled throughout Europe, been to Australia. The only continents I still need to get to are South America and Antarctica. So fingers crossed, once this pandemic is over, I can go ahead and knock that out. Yeah.
Man, I look forward to that. Hopefully 2020 will be better for the travelers and the backpackers, man. Wow. So you seen a lot of places. I wanted to touch on that a little bit more. So in comparison, like studying abroad in South Africa. I actually got the opportunity to live in Africa during the pandemic. So in 2020, I spent the year in Africa. I was in Johannesburg. What part of South Africa were you studying in?
So our program actually traveled throughout the country, but our home base was Cape Town.
Oh, wow. Cape Town is a real cool place. I love Cape Town.
Yeah, we had a good time. And the program I did was on multiculturalism and social change. So we actually traveled around the continent learning about different ethnic groups. We did some language study. I learned some Xhosa. And, we did homestays with different groups of folks. And it was really, such a unique experience. I feel like most folks don't get to step into another person's culture. Especially in a country like South Africa, which has this history of separation, to sort of be able to bridge those gaps and talk to a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds. And the research I did was in a school that was formerly desegregated and now had girls from lots of different ethnicities, Black girls, colored girls, which is the race group we don't even have in the United States. And so it was really cool to get to learn what that experience was like, bringing all these different women together, in the same school building. So it was good. It was a really good experience.
Wow, that's real cool.